Chapter 1 Divorce. You are listening at novelfold.audio. Ye Tiance, hurry up and sign the divorce agreement prepared by Mr. Xiao. Ye family cemetery, assistant son, wearing a professional skirt, hurried over and threw the divorce agreement to the extraordinary-looking young man in front of the tomb. Ye Tiance frowned slightly and asked, "Divorce? Why?" Assistant son sneered, "Ha! Why don't you have any idea? We, Mr. Xiao, are the most dazzling beautiful CEO in Jiangnan City at the moment. She is worth hundreds of millions. She is at the top of the pyramid and has countless suitors. Look at you again. In addition to having nothing but a skin, no money, and no ability, and the blood-sucking bug that is relying on Mr. Xiao, do you think you are still worthy of this marriage?" Ye Tiance raised his eyebrows and said, "Vampires, does Xiao Qingcheng really think so?" Assistant son nodded and added ruthlessly, "Except for you who don't know yourself, everyone around Mr. Xiao thinks so." Ye Tiance lowered his eyes lightly. 3 years ago, he returned to Jiangnan City from that place to fulfill the marriage contract made by his grandfather to the Xiao family during his lifetime. At that time, the Xiao family was in a desperate situation and almost collapsed. It was he who secretly supported the Xiao family and promoted Xiao Qingcheng to be the most dazzling beautiful CEO in Jiangnan City. In the end, they got a divorce agreement. Assistant son continued, "As compensation for the divorce, Mr. Xiao promised to give you 1,000 million. You owe Mr. Xiao so much for this marriage, but she has been extremely kind to you. You must learn to be grateful and sign it quickly." Ye Tiance's tone became colder. "You want me to thank her? Tell Xiao Qingcheng that if you want me to sign, you can ask her to come and talk to me." Assistant son frowned and said, "What kind of identity is Mr. Xiao that a loser like you can meet whenever he wants? Ms. Xiao is here today all because of her own hard work. With her status, she has countless means to divorce you. She can let me find you in private. I have already considered your feelings, so don't make a fuss about it." Ye Tiance's cold eyes flashed and said, "Oh. In her opinion, she chose the anniversary of the death of my family of 8, proposed divorcing me in front of their graves, and asked you to laugh at me as much as you wanted. Did she consider my feelings? Ah. Mr. Xiao deserves to be in a high position for a long time, and he even considers the feelings of others in such a unique way. Yes, today is the death anniversary of Ye Tiance's family of 8, in order to file for divorce, she, Xiao Qingcheng, actually entrusted someone else to make a special trip and chose today to make a special trip to the Ye family cemetery. How ironic." At this time, in the distance, a beautiful woman with a cold expression and an excellent figure walked over quickly, holding a bouquet of flowers in her hand. She placed the flowers in front of one of the tombs and said softly, "Grandpa Yi, I have been delayed to see you for a while." Looking at the iceberg woman in front of his grandfather's grave, Ye Tiance had mixed feelings. Due to the good relationship between their grandfathers, he and Xiao Qingcheng had been engaged since childhood, but 15 years ago, the Yi family was suddenly hit by a fire. Except for himself, who was lucky enough to be rescued by his master and fled Jiangnan City, the rest of his family members were killed in the flames. It was Mr. Xiao who helped take care of the family's funeral, and the kindness was not unimportant. 3 years ago, he returned to Jiangnan City to fulfill his engagement. He was afraid of putting pressure on Xiao Qingcheng, so he got along with her as an ordinary person and has been secretly helping the Xiao family. Originally, he had planned to order Tianlong Group to hold a bidding meeting tomorrow night, announcing that the Xiao family was the only winning bidder for the new district development project, with an order worth 100 billion, pushing Xiao Qingcheng to the top of Jiangnan City in one fell swoop. At that time, he no longer had to hide his identity and tell Xiao Qingcheng everything. The result was the day before, Xiao Qingcheng walked to Ye Tiance. His expression was usually indifferent and he said, "I heard what you just said. I ignored your feelings by choosing this time and place to file for divorce. I was really too busy and forgot about it, so I asked assistant son." Ye Tiance raised his hand and interrupted, "Yes, Mr. Xiao has to entrust others to ask for divorce. Of course he is busy, so busy that he is almost ruthless." Xiao Qingcheng could hear his complaints, but she thinks she is right, because she is busy preparing for tomorrow night's bidding meeting to win the Tianlong Group's bid and obtain a 100 billion order. Moreover, there have long been rumors that Zhao Hailong, chairman of Tianlong Group, is today inseparable from a mysterious figure behind him. Coincidentally, there is news that the big shot will appear at the Chamber of Commerce tomorrow night. She would definitely not let go of such a precious opportunity to make friends. It's just that she won't tell Ye Tiance these thoughts, because he won't understand if she does. She said in a cold tone, now that we have reached this point, we have to face this result. At least for me personally, I have tried hard to maintain this marriage. Whether I say this in front of you or in front of your family's mausoleum, I have a clear conscience. I hope you can understand my difficulties. Ye Tiance asked back, what is your reason? Money, status? Is it really that important? Xiao Qingcheng shook his head in disappointment and said, it's useless to tell you, because you will never understand what I am thinking. Ye Tiance laughed at himself, yes, I really don't understand you, so I only pour you water when you are thirsty, cook for you when you are hungry, and make you happy when you are sad. Xiao Qingcheng frowned and said, does this make sense? What I need is never your so-called consideration. Because you can't afford what I want. At this time, a voice in the distance sounded, Qingcheng is right, what she wants, a low-level guy like you will never be able to give her. A young man in a white suit walked over. This person is the eldest young master of the Ji family in Jiangnan, Ji Buduan. I have been very close to Xiao Qingcheng recently, Ji Buduan said softly to Xiao Qingcheng. Didn't we make an appointment to have dinner together later? My car is already parked outside the cemetery. Ye Tiance laughed at himself, ha. So this is the reason for your divorce. The result of 3 years of silent efforts made him completely heartbroken at this moment. A flash of determination flashed in his eyes and he said, I agree to sign. I hope you won't regret it, that I signed the divorce agreement neatly. Ji Buduan sarcastically said, do you know? Insider news has come out that Qingcheng will win the bid from Tianlong Group and win an order of 100 billion. When it is announced at the bidding chamber tomorrow night, she is not only Jiangnan City, but Tiannan Province the most dazzling beautiful CEO. He poked Ye Tiance's chest with his finger and said arrogantly, and you? A loser who can't even enter the Chamber of Commerce's gate, are you worthy of making Qingcheng regret it? Ye Tiance took Ji Buduan's hand away and said calmly, I ordered Tianlong Group to organize the bidding chamber, and I also ordered Xiao Qingcheng to win the bid. Ji Buduan laughed out loud, why don't you say that Mr. Zhao Hailong, the chairman of Tianlong Group and known as the king of Jiangnan, obeys your orders? Ye Tiance said calmly, yes, he did obey my orders. Ji Buduan sneered and said, Yi, you are really good at bragging. I might as well tell you the truth, this time Qingcheng won the bid of Tianlong Group because my Jiangnan Ji family asked Lord Long to mediate it. What does it have to do with you? Ye Tiance didn't expect Ji Buduan to be so shameless. Just as he was about to retort, Xiao Qingcheng scolded, Ye Tiance, that's enough. Do you know what you are talking about? She handed over a bank card and said coldly, this is 1,000 million yuan in compensation. After the Chamber of Commerce ends tomorrow night, I will go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get the divorce certificate the day after tomorrow. Ye Tiance didn't even look at his bank card. I don't want a cent of the money. I'll see you at the Civil Affairs Bureau the day after tomorrow. We won't owe each other anything from now on. Although his words were calm, his tone was strange as never before. Xiao Qingcheng bit her lower lip. She wanted to say something, but she couldn't. She turned around and left with Assistant Sun and Ji Buduan. Leaving the cemetery, we got into Ji Buduan's car. Ji Buduan asked diligently, Qingcheng, we have arranged to have dinner together, where do you want to go? Xiao Qingcheng said slightly tiredly, forget about eating, just take me back to the company. Ji Buduan said awkwardly, then, okay. Xiao Qingcheng looked out the car window. In the distance, Ye Tiance is alone in front of the mausoleum. There is a hint of loneliness in the loneliness. The car started and his back gradually disappeared from sight. Inexplicable, she seemed to feel that something important existed in her heart, and it gradually disappeared at this moment. Chapter 29 Fiancées. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In front of Grandpa's tombstone, Ye Tiance sighed and said, Grandpa, I have failed to live up to your expectations. This marriage has failed after all. It's good to think about it. Without the worries about marriage in the future, I will have more energy to investigate the truth about the fire in Ye's house. In fact, over the years, Ye Tiance has always suspected that the fire in Ye's house was not an accident, but someone did it. Therefore, after returning to Jiangnan City 3 years ago, he has been secretly investigating, and recently he finally got a clue. Buzz. Just then, his cell phone vibrated. Answer the phone. Zhao Hailong's flattering voice came from the opposite side. Mr. Ye. All the invitations to the bidding conference tomorrow night have been sent out, and the 100 billion investment contract bid for Mr. Xiao has also been drafted. Do you think, Ye Tiance said calmly, you have to worry about it, but she and I have divorced. Divorce? I'm sorry, subordinate. I didn't mean it. Zhao Hailong's face turned pale. Even though he was the chairman of Tianlong Group and was known as the king of Jiangnan, no matter who he saw, he was respectfully called Lord Long. But he understood that all this was secretly given by Ye Tiance 3 years ago. Take it back, just one sentence. Ye Tiance didn't want to say anything more about this matter, but asked, what happened to the matter you were asked to investigate? Zhao Hailong hurriedly said, back to Mr. Ye, my subordinates investigated the fire in Ye's house that year, and there may be some connection between the Ji family and Jiangnan. Jiangnan Ji family? Ye Tiance's pupils shrank, flashing with coldness. Zhao Hailong continued, I have compiled relevant information and want to present it to you in person. Do you see it? Ye Tiance nodded, I'm at the Yi family cemetery, come over. Understand, Ye Tiance just hung up the phone. There were 2 footsteps in the distance. Turning his head, he saw a middle-aged woman and a young man walking towards him. These 2 people are Xiao Qingcheng's mother, Zhang Huilan, and her younger brother, Xiao Nan. In the 3 years since their marriage, the 2 of them have been targeting him. Zhang Huilan stepped forward, frowned and asked, my surname is Ye. Qingcheng filed for divorce with you. Ye Tiance nodded, I just signed the divorce agreement. Zhang Huilan breathed a sigh of relief, that's great. My family, Qingcheng, has been unlucky for the past 3 years since she married you. Now I can finally get rid of you, a loser. Xiao Nan also smiled proudly and said, my sister will be able to be with Master Ji Budwan once she is single again. When we join hands in the bidding conference this time, we will definitely win 100 billion orders. I will make you a wimp. Ye Tiance frowned and said, if you 2 are here to make sarcastic remarks, please move to another place and don't disturb my family's rest here. Xiao Nan curled her lips and said, why are you so anxious? You and my sister are divorced, so of course we have to settle some accounts. Xiao Nan picked up an old black satchel. When you came to our Xiao family 3 years ago, you were empty-handed and only had this rag on your body. Now that you are divorced, take this rag away quickly and don't continue to dirty my place. But I'm curious, what kind of junk is inside this that is worth keeping for 3 years? As he said that, Xiao Nan opened his backpack very clumsily, but he didn't expect that there was a stack of marriage letters inside. There are 9 in total. This is, Xiao Nan randomly took out one and opened it. It says, the etiquette is the same as the Palm judgment, the 2 surnames are combined to create a good marriage, the poem is about IKEA, and the peace and tranquility of 100 years, male, Ye Tiance. Female, Han Ruoyun. Xiao Nan's face was full of surprise. Han Ruoyun? Isn't that the only daughter of the richest man in Jiangnan City? Why do you have a marriage certificate with her? Ye Tiance said coldly, it has nothing to do with you, just return it to me along with the backpack. It turns out that these 9 marriage letters were given to him by his master before he returned to Jiangnan City. He also said that these 9 fiancés were all carefully selected by him. They are God-given marriages and so on, so take advantage of them. However, Ye Tiance didn't take it to heart at all. After returning to Jiangnan City to marry Xiao Qingcheng, she simply put these 9 marriage letters behind her. If Xiao Nan hadn't taken it out at this moment, I wouldn't have been able to remember it. Xiao Nan closed the marriage certificate and sneered, humph. I think you heard that the Han family recently recruited a suitable match for Han Ruoyun, so you concocted a marriage certificate yourself to defraud the marriage. Can the Han family like you with your trashy virtues? It would be more like it if I went there instead. With that said, He put the marriage certificate into his bag and threw the bag directly at Ye Tiance's feet. Zhang Huilan impatiently ordered to Ye Tiance, I heard that Qingcheng divorced you and gave you 1,000 million. How dare you, a loser, accept it? Give it back to us quickly. Ye Tiance said truthfully, I don't want the money. Xiao Nan cursed and said, bullshit. You don't want 1,000 million, what are you doing to fool yourself? Ye Tiance said coldly, keep your mouth clean. If I say I don't want it, I don't want it. If you don't believe me, call your sister. Zhang Huilan spat, bah. I don't believe your nonsense. I will search you right now. The bank card must be on you. Then he stepped forward and rummaged through Ye Tiance's pockets. Ye Tiance suppressed his anger and said, it's almost done. Zhang Huilan ignored it and continued to search carefully. In the end nothing was found. That's weird. Could it be that this loser really doesn't ask for money? Zhang Huilan looked unwilling. At this time, Xiao Nan turned his eyes and said, Yi, even if you don't ask for money, shouldn't you pay our Xiao family money back? What do you mean? Xiao Nan stretched out a finger and said, you lived and ate in my Xiao family for free for 3 years. Shouldn't you give it back to our Xiao family after the divorce? If not more, at least 100 million. Zhang Huilan then added, not only that, you waste my family Qingcheng's 3 years of youth, you should compensate me at least 300 million. Also, after divorcing you, my family Qingcheng's second marriage will be a second marriage. It will also be a loss to her reputation, and she must be compensated. 300 million, together it's 700 million, get the money quickly. If you can't get the money, you'll sell your blood or your kidneys. The aggressive attitude of Zhang Huilan and her mother took their shamelessness to the extreme. Ye Tiance narrowed his eyes coldly and said in a deep voice, divorce is a matter between Xiao Qingcheng and I. It has nothing to do with you. I won't give you even a cent of the money, so get out. Xiao Nan looked disdainful and said arrogantly, who do you think you are, just asking us to get out? If you don't pay back the money, I will dig up your Yi family's ancestral grave. Done. He actually raised his foot and kicked Grandpa Ye Tiance's tombstone hard. Boom! There is a dirty shoe print left on the tombstone. Putting his foot down, Xiao Nan said arrogantly, did you hear that? Give me the money quickly, Before he finished speaking, Ye Tiance suddenly slapped him on the cheek, snapped. The huge force was enough to make Xiao Nan spin around twice, the corners of his mouth were bleeding. You uneducated beast, I've tolerated you for a long time. Ye Tiance's eyes were cold, and he added another kick and kicked him to the ground. The latter lay on the ground and rolled in pain. Ouch! It hurts me so much. Mom! Make the decision for me. Zhang Huilan pointed at Ye Tiance and cursed, you loser, dare to hit my son. I will fight with you. As he spoke, he was about to scratch Ye Tiance's face with all his teeth and claws. At this moment, a loud roar came from the distance, stop. Chapter 3 Qualification to participate in the Chamber of Commerce is cancelled. You are listening at novelfold.audio. I saw a slightly fat, middle-aged man wearing gold-rimmed glasses walking quickly, followed by 2 bodyguards in black. Zhao Hailong scolded in a deep voice, what do you want to do? Zhang Huilan was so frightened by the opponent that she weakened by 3 points and took 2 steps back. The person in front of me looked familiar, but I couldn't remember who it was for a while. Zhao Hailong turned around and asked Ye Tiance respectfully, are you okay? Ye Tiance shook his head to indicate that it was okay. He really didn't want to waste time on them, so he glanced at Zhao Hailong, who understood and directly ordered the bodyguards to drive them out. The 2 bodyguards controlled Zhang Huilan and Xiao Nan respectively. Xiao Nan struggled violently and screamed, you bitch, let your people loose their fucking grip. My sister is Xiao Qingcheng from the Xiao group. Can you afford to offend her? Zhang Huilan also threatened Zhao Hailong, damn fat man. I am Xiao Qingcheng's mother, please let your people go. Zhao Hailong's face darkened. If he hadn't worried that the 2 of them were relatives of Mr. Ye's ex-wife, he had already been thrown into Xinjiang. So he scolded, I don't care who you are, stay away from the cemetery and take them away. The 2 bodyguards took the person away without delay. Ye Tiance wiped off the shoe prints on his grandfather's tombstone and asked, You said that the fire in the Ye family was related to the Ji family in Jiangnan. Where is the information you have prepared? This is. Zhao Hailong quickly handed over a document. As he read the contents of the document, the expression on Ye Tiance's face gradually turned cold. 2 days later, the head of the Ji family, Ji Wuli, Ji Buduan's father, was preparing to hold his 60th birthday. At the birthday banquet, a small auction was planned to celebrate the birthday. One of the auction items was a tiger-shaped jade pendant, which was exactly what Grandpa Ye Tiance had always worn. I thought they would be buried in the fire together, but I didn't expect that they would be in the hands of the Ji family. Zhao Hailong explained, I investigated this information based on the clues you provided. As for how the Ji family obtained this jade pendant, I don't know. Ye Tiance ordered, help me arrange to attend Ji Wuli's birthday party in 2 days. Yes, Ye Tiance turned to look at his grandfather's tombstone and said coldly, Grandpa, I will keep following this clue to investigate. No matter who is your murderer, I will let them be buried with you. Base. As soon as he finished speaking, his hand burned into a ball of flame, and the data instantly turned into nothingness. Behind him, Zhao Hailong was stunned. Is this a method that humans can have? Ye Tiance picked up the backpack with the marriage certificate on the ground and said, Pure a piece of information about Han Ruoyun of the Han family and send it to me. I have some old things to explain. Understand. After hesitating for a moment, Zhao Hailong asked, Mr. Yi, what about the Chamber of Commerce tomorrow night? I'll go over there, and you can take care of the rest. Ye Tiance left without thinking much. Zhao Hailong thought for a moment. Suddenly he took out his mobile phone and made a call and ordered, notify the Xiao family that they will be disqualified from participating in the Chamber of Commerce tomorrow night. No explanation is required. The list of winning bidders for the 100 billion order will be redrawn. Xiao family group, top floor office. Xiao Qingcheng sat in the office chair, feeling restless. It was obviously a good thing to divorce Ye Tiance, but for some reason I just couldn't be happy. Assistant Sun asked with concern, Mr. Xiao, what's on your mind? Huh? No. Nothing. Xiao Qingcheng regained her composure and said, I was just thinking about the Chamber of Commerce tomorrow night. Who is the big shot behind Mr. Long? At this time, Ji Buduan, who was sitting on the sofa opposite the desk, stood up and walked to Xiao Qingcheng's side. He said with a hint of show-off, Qingcheng, that big shot has a noble status and is worshipped by thousands of people. It just so happens that I am very familiar with him. I will introduce you to him at the Chamber of Commerce. If you can win that man's favor, there will be no limit to your future. Xiao Qingcheng said expectantly, if this is the case, it will cause trouble for young Master Ji. Boom. The office door was suddenly pushed open. Zhang Huilan and Xiao Nan rushed in a state of embarrassment and grievance, especially Xiao Nan's mouth was swollen and bleeding from the corners. Zhang Huilan cried and shouted, Qingcheng, you must make the decision for us too, and teach that damn bastard a lesson. Xiao Qingcheng asked with concern, Mom, what's wrong with you? Zhang Huilan said aggrievedly, we were beaten by that good-for-nothing Ye Tiance. He is just a white-eyed wolf. Xiao Qingcheng frowned and couldn't believe it. How could it be him? It must be a mistake. After 3 years of marriage, although she was dissatisfied with Ye Tiance, she still understood his temper. He won't hit anyone easily. Zhang Huilan joked, it's absolutely true. Your brother and I went over to visit his family's grave out of kindness. Who would have thought that he would suddenly get angry and hit someone? Xiao Qingcheng was wavering. She knew that her mother and brother had many problems, and she was always suspicious of their words. Ji Buduan said seriously, Qingcheng, I believe Aunt Zhang, that good-for-nothing must have been unable to accept the divorce. He didn't dare to get angry in front of you, so he vented his anger on Aunt Zhang and the others. Young Master Ji is right. Zhang Huilan glanced at Ji Buduan gratefully and said with added jealousy, when that loser hit me, he complained that you had less money for divorce. He also threatened to go to the Han family in Jiangnan to participate in the marriage recruitment and stay with a rich woman. You will regret it. Xiao Qingcheng's expression darkened. When she proposed divorce earlier, Ye Tiance's free and easy attitude in refusing 1,000 million made her a little impressed. I didn't expect that there was such a person behind my back. Thinking of this, she took out her phone and called Ye Tiance. At this time, Ye Tiance was on his way to the Han family in Jiangnan, preparing to break off the engagement with Han Ruoyun. After 3 years of failed marriage, he no longer had any aspirations for marriage. Therefore, he decided to return all the 9 marriage letters that his master had left for him, and put all the old matters behind him. Buzzed up, the phone vibrated and I saw the caller ID. After a slight hesitation, he slid the answer button. Xiao Qingcheng's dissatisfied questioning tone immediately came from the opposite side. Ye Tiance, why do you do this? Ye Tiance looked puzzled. What did I do? Xiao Qingcheng said coldly. Ha! You don't admit it, do you? Did you hit my brother? Ye Tiance explained. I was right to fight, but she was interrupted by Xiao Qingcheng. If you are not satisfied with the divorce conditions, you can come to me in person instead of shaking your fist at my family. This is a sign of incompetence. Ye Tiance frowned. In order to protect his family, does Xiao Qingcheng not even tell what is right and wrong? When Ye Tiance remained silent, Xiao Qingcheng continued to ask, where are you now? Ye Tiance answered truthfully. What happened on the way to the Han family in Jiangnan? Xiao Qingcheng's pupils shrank. Sure enough, he really wanted to go to the Han family to participate in the marriage recruitment. We've just been asked for divorce, can't we wait any longer? She took a deep breath. Ye Tiance, I order you to apologize to my mother and my brother, and let this matter be over, otherwise you. Incomprehensible. Ye Tiance grunted in dissatisfaction and simply hung up the phone. Xiao Qingcheng was so angry that she almost dropped her phone. We need to call him back immediately, and we must ask Ye Tiance to give him an explanation. But the cell phone rang first. At first glance, the caller ID showed that he was from the Tianlong group. After answering, Xiao Qingcheng's delicate body trembled and she almost fell to the ground. Assistant Sun hurriedly supported her and asked worriedly, Mr. Xiao, what's wrong? Xiao Qingcheng's face turned pale, and she said in despair, Tianlong group cancelled our qualifications to participate in the bidding Chamber of Commerce tomorrow night. It was Lord Long's personal order. Chapter for the first fiancé. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Everyone present was shocked. Good luck, why were you suddenly disqualified from participating in the Chamber of Commerce? Doesn't that mean that the winning bid worth 100 billion has also been ruined? Ji Buduan frowned and asked, if Lord Long can give the order personally, have any of you offended him? Xiao Qingcheng shook her head. She was always cautious when facing the Tianlong group. How could she dare to offend? On the other hand, Zhang Huilan and Xiao Nan looked at each other and suddenly thought of something. The fat man with gold-rimmed glasses they insulted earlier in the cemetery seemed to be Zhao Hailong. After all, his commercial photos can be seen everywhere in Jiangnan City. No wonder it looked familiar at the time. Could it be that just because of this matter, Zhang Huilan and the two suddenly felt bad and were sweating profusely? Xiao Qingcheng saw Zhang Huilan acting strangely and asked, what's wrong with you? Xiao Nan didn't dare to tell the truth, so he turned his eyes and said, Sister, I remembered that I just saw Ye Tiance insulting Master Long in the cemetery. It must be because of this that Master Long took revenge on our Xiao family. Xiao Qingcheng didn't believe it at all. Why does Ye Tiance have the courage to scold Master Long? Zhang Huilan helped explain, of course that loser wouldn't dare to scold Mr. Long in normal times. He must be divorced and hold a grudge by doing this, and deliberately drag our Xiao family into trouble. Anyway, he is barefoot and not afraid of wearing shoes. Don't worry about these details yet. This Chamber of Commerce is very important to our Xiao family. We must regain our qualifications quickly, otherwise the tens of billions of orders will be gone. Xiao Qingcheng bit her lip hard. I never expected that Ye Tiance would be so narrow-minded and would resort to all kinds of cruel methods in order to get revenge on her. I completely misjudged him. Taking a deep breath, she said helplessly, I also want to save it, but Lord Long personally ordered it. What can I do? Assistant Sun reminded, Mr. Xiao, didn't Master Ji say that the Ji family was seeking Master Long's mediation for this bidding? He must be able to help. Everyone immediately looked at Ji Buduan. The latter's face suddenly became embarrassed, so he bit the bullet and said, having said that, I don't know the specific situation very well. I will go to Tianlong Group to find Master Long to ask about the situation. Xiao Qingcheng thanked you, sorry to trouble you. After Ji Buduan left, assistant son comforted him and said, Mr. Xiao, don't worry because the eldest son of the Ji family is here to help. Xiao Qingcheng shook her head, although the Ji family is one of the three major families in Jiangnan City. It may not be effective in front of Jiangnan Wang Longye, you have to find a way yourself. After hesitating for a moment, she said, the Han family is not only one of the three major families, but the head of the family, Han Tianzheng, is the richest man in Jiang City. I heard that I have a good personal relationship with Mr. Long. I plan to visit the Han family and ask him to help me. Assistant son said worriedly, the Han family has a prominent position and we are not familiar with it. Can you help? Xiao Nan patted her chest and said, don't worry, I'll go with my sister. It just so happens that the Miss Han family is looking for a bride recently. With my appearance and talent, I will definitely pass the test. If I become the son-in-law of the Han family, why won't the Han family not help? Zhang Huilan slapped her thigh and said excitedly, that's right. Xiao Nan is so good that he will definitely become the son-in-law of the Han family. Let's go there now. Then, okay, let's go to Han's house now. Xiao Qingcheng could only choose to give it a try. Wulong Manor covers an area of 10,000 square meters, with beautiful scenery and fresh air. This is the home of Han Tianzheng, the richest man in one of the three major families in Jiangnan City. On the way here, Ye Tiance read the Han Ruoyun information that Zhao Hailong sent him. 2.5 months ago, Han Ruoyun fell ill with a strange illness after returning from Mr. Han's funeral. He fell into a coma every day, with intermittent bleeding from his skin. Major hospitals were helpless. Han Tianzheng spent a lot of money to invite Taoist Gong Sun. After snooping into the secret, this person said that Miss Han was not sick, but that Mr. Han did not see his granddaughter get married during his lifetime, and after his death, his wish was not fulfilled and he became obsessed with it, and his ghost lingered, and gives a solution to the problem, to attract relatives and bring happiness. So 7 days ago, the Han family released news that they would find a suitable person in Jiangnan City to marry Han Ruoyun and enjoy glory and wealth. As soon as the news came out, young people from all over the city came in droves, not wanting to work hard anymore. Ye Tiance came all the way to the inner courtyard of the Han family, where 20 or 30 young people gathered. There is an offering table in the center of the courtyard, where Mr. Han's spiritual tablet is enshrined. In front of the tablet, there are 3 unlit incense sticks inserted in the incense burner. The head of the family, Han Tianzheng, was standing on the right side of the altar table. In the past 2.5 months, he had first experienced the pain of losing his father, and then the uncertainty of his daughter's life and death. He was exhausted physically and mentally. On the left side of the altar table is an old man with a goatee wearing a yellow robe and a flower crown. He has a Taoist and immortal temperament. It was Taoist Master Gong Sun. He stroked his beard and said, everyone, the so-called destined person needs Mr. Han's recognition. Later, follow my order and kneel down and kowtow to Mr. Han's spiritual tablet. Then I will test the fate. If the incense in front of the destined person's soul tablet is detected, it will ignite automatically, starting from you. A young man stepped forward and knelt down, kowtowing 3 times to Mr. Han's spiritual tablet. Taoist Master Gong Sun swung his fly whisk, stepped on the gang steps and said, move your mind and move your body, return to the void. The number of dust particles is as urgent as a law or order, edict. There was no response from the incense offering. Taoist Master Gong Sun said expressionlessly, next one. The next young man came forward and kowtowed. Seeing this, Ye Tiance was speechless. Ever since he heard that Miss Han's coma was related to Mr. Han's lingering ghost, he thought it was nonsense. Unexpectedly, the method of testing fate was even more nonsense. You must know that fortune-telling depends on fortune-telling, horoscopes, etc. I have never heard of kneeling and kowtow. His intuition told him that there must be something fishy here, so he should wait and see what happens. After a while, counting Ye Tiance, there were only 2 people present who failed to test their fate, and the rest all failed. Taoist Master Gong Sun said seriously to Han Tianzheng, Master Han, today is the 7th and last day to test the destined person. If you can't find the person, please be mentally prepared. Han Tianjing nodded sadly. Next person, that I saw a proud young man wearing a designer suit walking forward and kneeling in front of the spiritual tablet, the crowd exclaimed. Isn't this Ji Buxiao, the second son of the Ji family? He even came to test. The Ji family and the Han family are both the three major families in Jiangnan City. His second young master and Miss Han's family are a good match and they will definitely pass the test. Ji Buxiao secretly glanced at Taoist Gongsun, the latter understood it and stroked his beard and praised, I think this young master is full of heaven and has the temperament of a dragon among men. I think he is the only one who can pass the test, so best. Han Tianjing looked expectant. If Ji Buxiao could pass the test, it would be a marriage between the Han family and the Ji family, the best of both worlds. Move your mind and move your body, take refuge in the void, be as urgent as a law or order, edict. As Taoist Master Gongsun drank fiercely, the incense in the incense burner trembled slightly, but did not burn. Taoist Master Gongsun frowned and said, the incense is moving, which means that this young master is destined to be a destined person. Hurry. Keep kowtowing, increase the strength and don't stop. I will continue to practice. Okay. Ji Buxiao looked happy and kowtowed a little harder. Urgent like a law, edict. The incense was still not lit, even several times in a row. Han Tianjing asked worriedly, Taoist Master Gongsun, isn't Bo Zhao's fate enough? Taoist Gongsun was sweating profusely, this shouldn't be the case, I've obviously rehearsed it many times in advance. Taking a deep breath, he ordered Ji Buxiao, try harder and your head will bleed. What? Ji Buxiao shivered, are you sure this isn't going to kill me? Taoist Master Gongsun said seriously, follow it. Ji Buxiao was heartbroken and hit his head heavily on the ground. There was a thud and he started to bleed, it hurts. Taoist Master Gongsun took the opportunity to pinch his fingers, his face turned red and he stamped his feet vigorously, shouting, emergency is like a law, edict. Base. Good news, the incense is finally burning. Bad news, there was only one, and it only burned for 3 seconds. Taoist priest Gongsun said bravely, as long as you can do it, you have passed the test. Congratulations to the Han family. Han Tianjing looked excited, his daughter was finally saved. Taoist Master Gongsun reminded, young Master Ji heir, why don't you quickly pay your respects to your father-in-law? Ji Buxiao covered his head and was about to salute Han Tianjing. The crowd suddenly burst into laughter. Chapter 5 Your marriage certificate is fake. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Swish. Everyone heard the sound and looked around, their eyes locked on Ye Tiance. Ji Buxiao covered his head and yelled, why are you laughing? Ye Tiance said truthfully, I was laughing at you for working so hard that your head was bleeding. Is that the case? Ji Buxiao's eyes twitched, he didn't want to work hard, but Taoist Master Gongsun didn't work hard, but he said stubbornly, the bleeding means that I am sincere. Mr. Han admits that I am a destined person. Let the incense burn, Ye Tiance said calmly, the burning of incense is caused by other means and has nothing to do with Mr. Han. Death is like a lamp going out, so don't force him. Han Tianjing suddenly shouted, stop talking nonsense, that the daughter's marriage is of great importance and cannot be interfered with. It doesn't matter. Taoist priest Gongsun stroked his beard, took 2 steps forward and sarcastically said to Ye Tiance, you keep saying that burning incense is caused by other means? Very good, you can kneel down and kowtow and give it a try, otherwise it will be in vain if you knock out your brains. Kowtow. No need, Ye Tiance said calmly and snapped his fingers, snapped. Next second. Base, base, base. I saw 3 incense sticks on the incense burner on the offering table burning at a speed visible to the naked eye, and they all had flames. Everyone present looked confused, as if they had seen a ghost. Taoist Gongsun's eyes almost popped out. After a long while, Han Tianjing, who had reacted, grabbed Ye Tiance's hand and said excitedly, good son-in-law, what is your name? Ye Tiance. Seeing this, Ji Buxiao became anxious, he quickly pushed Taoist Gongsun, who hurriedly said, Master Han, you misunderstood, he is not your son-in-law. Han Tianjing asked back, didn't you say who let 3 incense sticks burn meant that my father recognized him as the son-in-law of the Han family? Taoist priest Gongsun forced himself to explain, actually, your father admitted that it was young Master Ji, but, the delay in the apparition caused the incense to be burned a minute late, and it happened to be picked up by this kid. Everyone present. Taoist Master Gongsun also realized that this reason was a bit far-fetched, and added, and I think this kid has a sharp mouth and monkey cheeks, and he is not lucky enough to have a bad life. It is impossible for Mr. Han to admit him. Ye Tiance sneered and said, if you are not good at studying, then you should stop cheating people out of money. Fart. Taoist Master Gongsun said angrily, I have been studying art in Kunlun Mountain for more than 60 years. I can see yin and yang, judge feng shui, and know my destiny. How can you, a child with a yellow mouth, say that I am not good at learning? Ye Tiance took out the marriage certificate from his bag, slapping him directly on the face. You keep saying that Mr. Han doesn't recognize me, so what is this? Marriage certificate? How do you have this? Taoist Master Gongsun opened the marriage certificate, and shock was written all over his old face. He kept saying that he was not recognized by Mr. Han, but not only did he have a marriage certificate, it also had Mr. Han's signature on it. This is not called recognition. What is recognition? At this moment, he only felt that his old face was burning. Ji Buxiao felt like crying but had no tears left. After all the hard work he had spent the whole day, wasn't he kowtowing in vain? At this time, Han Tianjing said dissatisfiedly, young man, I originally thought you were my daughter's destined match, but I didn't expect you were also a liar who forged a marriage certificate. It's disappointing. Forged marriage certificate? What do you mean? Ye Tiance didn't know what was going on. Still pretending, Han Tianjing ordered Butler Wang behind him, bring those rags up and show him. Yes. Soon, Butler Wang brought a big box. Ye Tiance took a closer look and saw that the box was densely packed with marriage certificates in various styles. What is this ghost? Everyone present was equally astonished. Han Tianjing explained, to be honest with you, my father revealed before his death that he did arrange a marriage for Yunyun in his early years, but unfortunately he died before revealing the identity of the man. However, news of this incident leaked out, and a bunch of people came to my house that night with marriage documents to fulfill their engagement. If the marriage document was true, Han would have abided by the engagement, but those dozens of marriage documents were all forged, and they simply regarded my Han family's engagement as its child's play. I spent a lot of effort to suppress this matter. As he said that, he stared at Ye Tiance and said seriously, I didn't expect that you would still use such backward methods to deceive after so long. Do you really think you can deceive me, the Han family? Ye Tiance had a dark look on his face. Good guy, how did he know that there were still people who formed a group to forge marriage certificates to get married? Then he explained, if my marriage certificate is true or false, the head of the Han family will know it at a glance. No need to look. Han Tianjing waved his hand and said impatiently, our Han family does not welcome liars, please leave. It doesn't matter. Anyway, my original intention is to break off the engagement. I just want to be notified of the news. Ye Tiance spread his hands helplessly, anyway, I broke the engagement first. As compensation, I will leave this prescription for Miss Han to treat her illness. He stuffed a prescription into the marriage certificate and handed it to Han Tianjing. In fact, when he learned about Han Ruoyun's symptoms, he determined the cause and wrote it in advance, but the latter didn't even look at it, threw it into the box containing other marriage documents, and said in a cold voice, hurry and leave. Ye Tiance reminded, Master Han, Miss Han's body can only last until today. The bleeding will become more and more serious. If you want to save her, it is recommended to take medicine as soon as possible. After saying this, he left directly. Seeing Ye Tiance leave, Taoist Master Gongsun immediately straightened his back and resumed his previous Taoist style. Humph. A kid with a yellow mouth. He's full of nonsense. Han Tianjing asked, Taoist Master Gongsun, what will you do next? Since young Master Ji is destined to be a match, let's go to Miss Han's bedside together and wait for Pindao to wake up naturally after doing this. It is good. Han Tianjing brought Gongsun Dao Chang and Jibwa Xiao to Han Ruoyun's bedroom. Lying on the bed was a girl with delicate features, like a fairy in a dream. She was Han Ruoyun. Taoist master Gongsun immediately performed the ritual, stepped on the steel plate, and silently recited the incantation. However, no matter what he did, even out of breath, Han Ruoyun not only remained unconscious, but the blood oozing from his skin became more serious. The situation is getting more and more serious, as Ye Tiance mentioned before. Taoist master Gongsun, what should we do? Han Ruoyun's mother Li Shuqin asked hurriedly. This, I don't know either. Taoist priest Gongsun panicked. Jibwa Xiao on the side also felt numb. At this time, Han Tianjing suddenly thought of something. Steward Wang, quickly get that boy's marriage certificate. After getting the marriage certificate, Han Tianjing's eyes widened when he saw his father's signature. This marriage certificate is indeed true, blame me for being confused. So, is this prescription also true? A flash of determination flashed in Han Tianjing's eyes, and he immediately ordered his servant to cook the medicine according to the prescription left by Ye Tiance. Soon, the decoction was completed and Han Ruoyun was fed to drink it. Han Ruoyun's skin no longer bleeds. People also opened their eyes and woke up. Everyone was stunned. Good luck has come to my Han family. Han Tianjing looked ecstatic and immediately ordered butler Wang, bring Ye Tiance back quickly. Ye Tiance had only taken a few steps away from the Han family's Wulong manor. Suddenly, a black Mercedes-Benz stopped in front of him. Several familiar figures came down. Xiao Qingcheng. There are also her mother Zhang Huilan and brother Xiao Nan. Chapter 6. Who are you, Xiao Qingcheng? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing these three people, Ye Tiance frowned slightly. It's really a narrow road between enemies. Xiao Nan curled her lips and said, Sister, I'm not lying to you. This person named Yi really came to the Han family. It seems that he must have failed to recruit a bride and was kicked out. I'm laughing to death. Xiao Qingcheng bit her lip subconsciously, although she was the one who initiated the divorce. Seeing Ye Tiance looking for someone else to marry him so quickly made her feel inexplicably uncomfortable. Forcefully suppressed the discomfort, she asked, Ye Tiance, if you feel wronged by being asked for divorce, you can speak openly and openly. Do you want to use villainous means to retaliate? Ye Tiance said in shock. Retaliation? I don't know what you mean. Xiao Qingcheng clenched her fist subconsciously. You have the courage to do it, but you don't dare to admit it, right? Okay, let me ask you why you hit my brother. Ye Tiance replied, because he deserves to be beaten. Xiao Qingcheng suppressed his anger and continued to ask, did you scold Master Long? No. Wait, do you have any misunderstanding about me? Ha! No misunderstanding. Xiao Qingcheng sneered and shook her head, her face full of disappointment. It's already here, are you still pretending to be confused? If she had felt self-blame when she filed for divorce in the morning, she would no longer do so from now on. So he said coldly, Ye Tiance, this time I admit my fault and will not pursue any further pursuit. Even if I compensate you for your divorce, from this moment on, you and I will not owe each other anything. We have nothing to do with each other anymore, and please don't use shady tricks anymore. Ye Tiance had a black streak on his head. What's the fuss about? Zhang Huilan said sarcastically, if you hear what my daughter is saying clearly, get out of here. Don't block the door of Han's house. Let us follow you and embarrass you. Xiao Nan then said angrily, just because you ruined our Xiao family's 100 billion order, you white-eyed wolf. Why don't you get out of here? Who are you telling to get out? As soon as he finished speaking, an angry shout sounded in the distance. A middle-aged man with a Chinese character walked quickly from the door of the Han family, followed by 4 bodyguards in black. Meet this person. Xiao Qingcheng was stunned. Isn't this butler Wang of the Han family? As we all know, if you want to see Han Tianjing in Jiangnan City, you must first go through butler Wang. Xiao Qingcheng stepped forward and greeted politely, Steward Wang, I am Xiao Qingcheng, the president of the Xiao family group. I have something I want to see the head of the Han family. Please convey it to me. Butler Wang simply refused, the master of the house is very busy and doesn't see anyone else. This. Xiao Qingcheng was embarrassed on the spot. Xiao Nan shook off her bangs and said, Steward Wang, I'm here to participate in the marriage recruitment. With my talent and appearance, I will definitely be worthy of Miss Han. Please show me the way. Butler Wang said indifferently, No need, the young lady has successfully recruited a bride. Ah. How could? Xiao Nan looked jealous. Who was lucky enough to get married? Butler Wang walked straight to Ye Tiance. He bent down and saluted, Mr. Yi, our head apologizes for the previous misunderstanding and would like to ask you to go back and discuss the marriage recruitment matter again. Ye Tiance thought for a moment, staying here to face those three people would only make him more upset, so he nodded and said, okay. The group left. Xiao Qingcheng and the other three were left looking at each other in confusion. Zhang Huilan couldn't believe it, am I right? Butler Wang actually respected the man named Yi so much that he even wanted to take him back to talk about blind dates. Sister, is he the one who succeeded in getting married? Xiao Nan thought of a terrible and unacceptable fact. Xiao Qingcheng looked at the familiar figure walking into the Han family's door and felt that his heart was stabbed hard for no reason. Jingle bell bell. The phone rang. It was assistant Sun calling. As soon as the connection was connected, her panicked voice came, Mr. Xiao, something happened. What should I do? Xiao Qingcheng frowned and said, calm down and speak slowly. The news that the Xiao family's qualifications to participate in the conference have been leaked. There are rumors in the Jiangnan city business community that Tianlong Group is going to ban us, causing all partners to propose to terminate the contract. Not only that, but also. As each piece of breaking news came, Xiao Qingcheng's face became increasingly pale. Zhang Huilan and Xiao Nan, who also heard the news, also widened their eyes. I didn't expect things to get so bad. After hanging up the phone, jingle bell. The ringtone of Xiao Qingcheng's cell phone rang again. This time it was her grandfather Xiao Hongming. Wait until the answer is completed. Xiao Qingcheng sighed, oh, Grandpa knows about the accident in the group. He immediately rushed back from other places to hold a family meeting for us all to attend. Xiao Nan asked, does the person named Yi also want to participate? Xiao Qingcheng hesitated for a moment, shook his head and said, don't worry about him. I will go back to see Grandpa later. Don't tell him about my divorce yet, because I'm worried that he won't accept it. Han's living room, sitting on the sofa were Ye Tiance, Han Tianzheng and his wife, and Han Ruoyun, who was recovering from a long illness. Han Tianzheng had already told Han Ruoyun the whole story. Han Ruoyun looked Ye Tiance up and down. The young man was quite handsome, but that didn't mean she could accept it. So he said simply, Dad, I will not marry him. Han Tianzheng said seriously, nonsense, this engagement was made by your grandfather, and Xiaoye saved you just now. If you don't marry him, who will you marry? When his father passed away 2.5 months ago, he told Han Ruoyun that the fiancé he had arranged for him was a proud man of heaven. He could bring great blessings to the Han family and he must not miss it. From the way Ye Tiance cured his daughter's disease, it can be seen that his methods are extraordinary, and he must have a very profound background. Han Tianzheng didn't want to let this son-in-law go. Han Ruoyun said dissatisfied, in what age do we still pay attention to marriage contracts? If I say I won't marry, I won't marry. Besides, I already have a man I like. Han Tianzheng and his wife were confused. Their daughter has always had her eyes set high above her head. When did a man become the object of her affection? Ye Tiance nodded and said, this is the best. Originally, I also came to break off the engagement. Han Ruoyun rolled his eyes. I thought to myself that it was obvious that you were rejected by me and could not step down, so you could only pretend to break off the engagement in order to maintain your poor dignity. Sure enough, compared with the man I like, there is a huge difference. I really hope I can have a chance to meet him. Dad, Mom, I'm still a little dizzy, so I'm going to rest first. Han Ruoyun stood up, put down these words and left directly. This kid. Han Tianzheng had a look of hatred on his face, and comforted Ye Tiance, Xiaoye, don't take my daughter's temper seriously, and don't break off the engagement on impulse. I think you two are quite a match. Ye Tiance smiled bitterly and said, I'm not impulsive, I'm serious. This. Han Tianjing's expression froze. You must know that Jiangnan City is currently in turmoil, and even if he is the richest man, he must act cautiously. Naturally, the son-in-law chosen must be able to help the Han family, therefore, a talent with a profound background like Ye Tiance must be captured. Just as he was thinking about how to continue to persuade Ye Tiance, his wife Li Shuqin received a text message on her phone. After reading the message, her face gradually turned cold. He raised his head and looked directly at Ye Tiance, asking, "Who are you, Xiao Qingcheng?" Chapter 7. The Xiao family is in chaos. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ye Tiance answered truthfully, "She is my wife, but, she filed for divorce just this morning." Han Tianjing looked at Li Shuqin and asked, "What's going on?" Li Shuqin said coldly, "I just asked someone to investigate Ye Tiance's information. 3 years ago, he married Xiao Qingcheng of the Xiao family, and lived in the Xiao family for 3 years. Just this morning, he was divorced by Xiao Qingcheng. The back foot came to our house, so you understand what I mean, right?" Han Tianjing's face darkened. He captured 2 key messages from these remarks. First, Ye Tiance was divorced after 3 years of living in the Xiao family, which shows that he does not have a deep background at all, otherwise the Xiao family would have discovered it long ago. Second, coming to his house to recruit a bride as soon as the divorce was proposed shows that he is used to eating soft food. The so-called proposal to break off the engagement is actually playing hard to get. What a great trick, I almost got deceived by him. Han Tianjing glanced at Ye Tiance and said dissatisfiedly, "Young man, my Han family treats each other with sincerity, but you use villainous methods to deal with it, isn't it appropriate?" Ye Tiance frowned. "What do you mean?" Li Shuqin stood up and said disdainfully, "How can you pretend? What about recruiting a bride or breaking off an engagement? Aren't you just thinking about our Han family's property?" He didn't take a piss to look at himself. How could a loser who was kicked out by a low-class family like the Xiao family dream of marrying my daughter? Dream. As the saying goes, clay figures also have 3 points of anger. Ye Tiance's tone became colder and he said, "What are you talking about? I came to Han's house just to break off the engagement, not for money. Don't think that everyone is so vulgar." Li Shuqin rolled her eyes and said, "Ha. I've seen a lot of tough-talking men like you." Then he threw a bank card on the coffee table. "For the sake of saving my daughter, take these 3 million and get out, and don't bother us again. Butler Wang, see the guests off." Butler Wang came forward with his bodyguards, full of anger. He made a gesture of invitation to Ye Tiance. Ye Tiance stood up with an indifferent expression. A few minutes ago, he greeted him warmly, but in the next moment, he was humiliated and chased away. This is really the most vivid interpretation of snobbery. He didn't even look at his bank card. He said coldly, "Save these 3 million for frogs like you to take care of yourself in old age." Putting down these words, he strode away without looking back. "You brat. Who are you calling a frog in the well?" Looking at Ye Tiance's back, Li Shuqin was very angry. Han Tianjing frowned and said, "Are you going a little too far by doing this?" "What's going too far? You're a waste that even the Xiao family doesn't want. Do you really plan to let her marry Yunyun and harm her for the rest of her life?" "That's not." Han Tianjing shook his head and said, "I just think that if Ye Tiance is really useless, why can he come up with a prescription that can cure Yunyun's disease? This skill alone is not something ordinary people can have." Li Shuqin curled her lips and said, "It's a shame. Otherwise, he picked up this prescription and it has nothing to do with him. It makes some sense." Han Tianjing said to Liu Shuqin, "Go upstairs and tell your daughter. It is said that the big man behind Long Yi will appear at the bidding meeting tomorrow night. Our Han family must find a way to curry favor with that person. It is important. Let her prepare in advance and come with me. Go." Li Shuqin didn't wait long after going upstairs. Han Tianjing's cell phone rang, and it turned out to be Zhao Hailong calling. "Don't dare to neglect, answer the call quickly." "Master Long, what advice do you have on the phone?" Zhao Hailong smiled and said, "I heard that your daughter has recovered from her old illness. Congratulations. How is the wedding?" "I'm still waiting for the wedding banquet. Don't mention it." I was almost cheated. Han Tianjing first complained about today's events, and then sneered. That man named Ye Tiance raved about us being the frog in the well before leaving. It's simply ridiculous. Hey! Mr. Long, why don't you speak? Unexpectedly, Zhao Hailong's attitude suddenly turned cold and said, Humph. You are indeed frogs in the well, so take care of yourself. Beep. Hang up the phone. Ah. What do you mean? Han Tianjing was confused and subconsciously called Zhao Hailong back, only to find that he had been blocked. I didn't offend him by saying anything, so why did he get angry? And many more. Ye Tiance, could it have something to do with him? Yun, Dad has something urgent to discuss with you. He immediately stood up and quickly went upstairs to find Han Ruoyun. Ye Tiance had not taken a few steps away from the Han family when he received a call from Mr. Xiao. Hey, Grandpa, what do you want on the phone? Over the past 3 years, Xiao Hongming has regarded Ye Tiance as his own son, and he has treated Xiao Hongming as his own grandfather, very filial to him. Xiao Hongming said a little tiredly, Tiance, there is an emergency meeting at home. Come back quickly. There is something I want to tell you. To be honest, Ye Tiance didn't want to have anything to do with the Xiao family anymore. However, I thought that after I received my divorce certificate from Xiao Qingcheng, I would never go to Zhao's house again. This is the last time I see the old man, so he agreed. Okay, I'll go back right away. Xiao family villa. At this time, many management members of the Xiao group and relatives and friends of the Xiao family gathered in chaos. In the 3 years since Ye Tiance and Xiao Qingcheng got married, the Xiao family has been making steady progress and their careers are booming. However, for some unknown reason, the qualification of the bidding chamber was cancelled today, which affected the entire group, causing all the group's business to be seriously affected. This has never happened before. After Xiao Hongming hung up the phone, he frowned and asked Xiao Nan, are you sure it was Tiance who insulted Mr. Long, causing him to take revenge on the Xiao family? Xiao Nan nodded quickly, it's absolutely true, I saw it with my mother. Zhang Huilan echoed, Dad, this is indeed the case. Xiao Hongming shook his head and said, Tiance shouldn't be this kind of person. I know his nature very well. Qingcheng, Grandpa believes in you even more. Tell me what's going on. Xiao Hongming looked at Ye Qingcheng. He only had a son, but he died early. His grandson Xiao Nan was unreliable, so he had been cultivating Xiao Qingcheng as his successor. Xiao Qingcheng hesitated for a moment, then with a flash of determination in his eyes, he said, what they said is all true. Of course, the Xiao family has lost the qualification to participate in the meeting, and I, as the chairman of the group, should bear the responsibility. As soon as these words came out, many children of the Xiao family started to express their dissatisfaction. Mr. Xiao, this matter has nothing to do with you. It's all the fault of that good-for-nothing Ye Tiance who caused trouble and caused us to lose the 100 billion order we were about to receive. Yes, you are interested enough in that trash, there is no need to take the responsibility on you. Our Xiao family should not have fulfilled our engagement with him back then. You should divorce him, have your legs broken, and drive him out of the Xiao family. Listening to everyone's condemnation, Xiao Hongming frowned and his mind sank. Could it be that it was really a wrong decision that he insisted on letting Xiao Qingcheng and Ye Tiance fulfill their engagement? Now that things have happened, what should we do? Someone suggested, Master of the house, if you want me to say that the person who untied the bell must tie the bell, he should arrest Ye Tiance and ask him to bow 3 steps, bow 9 steps and kowtow to Lord Long to apologize. Maybe he will let Xiao go as soon as he is in a good mood. Home. Xiao Nan snorted and said disdainfully, he's a loser who got into such a big trouble. If he has the guts to come back, I'll eat shit on the spot. The voice just fell, a familiar voice sounded coldly outside the living room, if you want to eat shit, just say it, there's no need to make excuses. Chapter 8 I can restore Zhao Hailong's place in the Chamber of Commerce. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xiao Qingcheng frowned when she saw Ye Tiance walking into the living room. What are you doing back here? Ye Tiance replied calmly, Grandpa called me to come back. Then he stepped forward and greeted Xiao Hongming politely, Grandpa, I'm back. Before Xiao Hongming could answer, everyone present took the lead in fiercely condemning him. White-eyed wolf, you have the nerve to come back, do you know how much trouble you have caused? Insulting Mr. Long caused the Xiao family to be disqualified from participating in the Chamber of Commerce, and the winning bid was ruined. What crime should you be responsible for? Once the Xiao family wins an order of 100 billion, their status will be equal to or even surpass that of the three major families. They will all be ruined by you. Ye Tiance suddenly realized that he finally understood why Xiao Qingcheng had such an attitude towards him at the door of Han's house. It turns out that I took the blame for no reason. So he explained, I didn't insult Zhao Hailong. The Xiao family's 100 billion order is actually. Xiao Nan interrupted him, fart. You can also call Master Long by his first name. I clearly saw that it was you who insulted Master Long, but you still don't admit it. How audacious. Grandpa, I implore you to serve Ye Tiance in every possible way and see if he still dares to speak harshly. Shut up. Xiao Hongming glared at Xiao Nan and said to Ye Tiance, keep talking. Ye Tiance said, there are indeed people who insult Zhao Hailong, but it's not me, but the two of them. He pointed at Zhang Huilan and Xiao Nan respectively and said, you two are confusing right and wrong and framed, how shameless. Xiao Hongming's face darkened and he asked the two of them, is this true? Xiao Nan defended, Grandpa, don't listen to his nonsense. How dare I scold Master Long? Zhang Huilan also nodded in agreement. Ye Tiance is acting recklessly and deliberately dragging us into trouble. Dad, you have to investigate clearly. This. Xiao Hongming frowned and thought. At the moment, he didn't know whose words to believe. Xiao Qingcheng said angrily to Ye Tiance, are you done yet? Are you still blaming the blame at this time? Do you think our Xiao family is not chaotic enough? Ye Tiance raised his eyebrows and asked, you don't trust me? Or else? Xiao Qingcheng hated iron and said, because of your willful behavior, the Xiao family lost their qualifications to participate in the meeting and ruined the Xiao family's future. What else do you want? Don't you think the Xiao family is miserable enough? You go. I don't want to do it anymore. See you. Xiao Hongming frowned and said, Qingcheng. Don't say such things. Then he said helplessly to Ye Tiance, don't take it to heart. This matter has really hit the Xiao family too hard. Even I can't accept it, let alone Qingcheng. Ye Tiance looked at Xiao Hongming's helpless look. I sighed inwardly, the old man has been very kind to me. For his sake, I will help the Xiao family one last time. Grandpa, don't worry, I can restore Zhao Hailong's place in the Xiao family's bidding chamber. As soon as this statement came out, the scene was in an uproar. Xiao Nan laughed and said, you're laughing so hard, you can recover as soon as you ask Mr. Long to recover. He is your subordinate. You can really brag. Zhang Huilan scolded, you loser, can you stop being embarrassed here? Get out of here. Xiao Qingcheng said coldly, Ye Tiance, take back your self-righteous appearance. Even Xiao Hongming shook his head and sighed, obviously not believing what he said. Faced with everyone's doubts, Ye Tiance said neither humble nor arrogantly, wait a moment, wait for me to make a call, and you will know the result. After saying that, he left the living room. I found a place where no one was and dialed Zhao Hailong's number. As for everyone in the living room, they didn't take Ye Tiance's words seriously at all. We are still discussing about the number of participants. Assistant Sun reminded, Mr. Xiao, didn't young Master Ji say before that he would help find Mr. Long? Can you ask how he is doing? Xiao Qingcheng shook his head and said helplessly, I've called him several times, but no one has answered. Maybe he can't help at all, so he avoids me on purpose. Zhang Huilan hurriedly said, how is that possible? Young Master Ji is true to his word. Do you think it's Ye Tiance, that loser? He said he can help. Xiao Nan echoed, Mom is right. Young Master Ji can help us win the bid, let alone such a trivial matter as restoring the number of participants. Let's just wait for the good news. At the same time, a high-end club, Ji Bo was sitting on the sofa, enjoying the shoulder-rubbing service of two sexy women wearing scantily clad clothes. Standing in front of him was a man with a face similar to his, with a bandage on his forehead. It was his younger brother Ji Bo Xiao. Ji Buxiao said with a look of resentment and grievance. Brother, all the plans went very smoothly. Who would have thought that Ye Tiance would show up to cause trouble at the critical moment? If it hadn't been for him, I would have become the Han family's son-in-law. Ji Buduan snorted coldly. That loser is just a freeloader. You can't even deal with him. What excuse do you have for that? Ji Buxiao poured a glass of wine for Ji Bo and said, Brother, don't be angry. The Han family won't like him anyway. I will have many opportunities to capture Han Ruoyun in the future. By the way, how are you and Xiao Qingcheng doing? Ji Buduan said calmly, there are rumors in the outside world that the Tianlong group is going to block the Xiao family. Now the Xiao family is not far away from collapse. Ji Buxiao asked doubtfully, Brother, what's the point of continuing to chase Xiao Qingcheng? Their family has no chance of getting an order worth 100 billion, and it's not of much use to our family. In fact, the two brothers have divided their work from the beginning. The elder brother Ji Buduan pursues Xiao Qingcheng, and the younger brother Ji Buxiao goes to the Han family to recruit a bride. No matter which one succeeds, it will be even more powerful for the Ji family. Ji Buduan's lips curled up and he said, Of course I know, and I was the one who spread the rumor that the Tianlong group wanted to block the Xiao family. Ji Buxiao asked in confusion, Huh? Aren't you supposed to help the Xiao family and prove yourself in front of Xiao Qingcheng? Ji Buduan sneered, How can I change Master Long's decision? Instead of helping them, it would be better to spread rumors to add insult to injury and keep everyone away from the Xiao family. In this way, I can invade with force, easily control the Xiao family and Xiao Qingcheng, and absorb all their family assets, which will be of great help to my Ji family. Ji Buxiao gave a thumbs up, Brother, you are so clever, I admire you. Ji Buduan smiled proudly and glanced at the series of missed calls from Xiao Qingcheng on his phone. She is in such a hurry. It seems that the fire is almost over. I will go to Zhao's house to take advantage of the fire. Ji Buduan stood up and left. Ji Buxiao, who was left behind, drank a glass of wine, said with a gloomy face and gritted his teeth, Yi, we are not done with this matter, don't let me find you. Outside the Xiao family villa, Ye Tiance has already finished the phone call with Zhao Hailong and ordered him to restore the Xiao family's participation quota. The winning bid was changed from the Xiao family's internal decision to a fair selection again. Of course, it is also true that Zhao Hailong was insulted by Zhang Huilan and Xiao Nan, therefore, Ye Tiance also gave Zhao Hailong a plan to ask Zhang Huilan, mother and son, to apologize to him. After all, one code equals one code. Hang up the phone. When Ye Tiance was about to turn around and go back, his cell phone rang. It's an unknown number. Ye Tiance answered the phone and asked, Hello, who are you? A familiar cold and proud voice came from the other side. I'm Han Ruoyun, can I meet you? There's something I want to tell you. Ye Tiance was quite surprised that she would come to him, and asked doubtfully, Why is it inconvenient to talk over the phone? Han Ruoyun said forcefully, We have to tell you face to face. Hang up now. I will send you the meeting address later. Remember to come over, not just hang up the phone. Ye Tiance frowned and muttered, Why are the women nowadays more powerful than the other? At this moment, a red Lamborghini parked at the door of the villa. The well-dressed Ji Buduan got out of the car. Seeing Ye Tiance, he said jokingly, Hey! Isn't this the good-for-nothing son-in-law who was kicked out by the Xiao family? How come he still has the nerve to return to the Xiao family? Chapter 9 Ye Tiance, agree to divorce. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ye Tiance responded calmly, What does it have to do with you? Ji Buduan sneered and said, Still pretending. I think you failed in recruiting a bride in the end. Do you want to lick your face and go back to the Xiao family to continue eating and drinking? Stop dreaming, the Xiao family is going to be doomed. He walked to Ye Tiance's side, he lowered his voice and said, In the final analysis, it's all thanks to you for insulting Mr. Long and implicating the Xiao family, which gave me an opportunity to take advantage of. Ye Tiance raised his eyebrows. What do you mean? Ji Buduan licked his lower lips and said greedily, It is rumored that the Xiao family has been blocked by the Tianlong group. At this time of crisis, you can only ask for help from me now. If I do something, the Xiao family will have to surrender under my feet. As for Xiao Qingcheng can play with it however he wants. Ye Tiance narrowed his eyes and said, I think you spread this rumor, right? Ji Buduan smiled and said, Ha. Who knows? Anyway, it has nothing to do with you, a loser. Then he swaggered into the villa, already fantasizing about how to manipulate the Xiao family. When he first walked into the living room of the villa, however, I found that there was no depressing atmosphere in the living room. Instead, everyone present was excited and there was no sign of collapse. How is this going? Zhang Huilan suddenly stepped forward, held his hand and said excitedly, Young Master Ji, thank you for your help, otherwise our Xiao family would be doomed. Help? Ji Buduan looked confused and didn't know what was going on. Zhang Huilan's face was full of smiles. Long Yi called himself just now and announced that the Xiao family's quota to participate in the bidding chamber of commerce would be restored. Didn't you help convince him? What's the matter? Ji Buduan was even more confused. How could he be qualified to convince Lord Long? What happened that caused things to suddenly turn around? However, since the Xiao family has resumed its Chamber of Commerce status, it means that Master Long has forgiven the Xiao family. It is estimated that the default bid is still there, so it is still valuable. Although I don't understand why these people misunderstood that he was helping, let's just make the mistake, so he coughed lightly and pretended to be profound. Ahem, I just had a meal with Mr. Long and mentioned a few words casually. I didn't expect him to agree. As soon as he said this, everyone present was full of praise for him, even Xiao Hongming stroked his beard and nodded with satisfaction. Xiao Qingcheng stepped forward and said with excitement, Young Master Ji, I can't thank you enough for your kindness. Qingcheng, with me here, not to mention restoring your family's qualifications to participate in the conference and winning the bid, even if I can help you introduce you to sit down and talk and laugh with that big shot, what's the difficulty? At this time, Ji Buduan put his hands in his pockets, as if he had no opponent. Hearing this, Ye Tiance, who followed, couldn't help but sneer, this guy is so shameless. Zhang Huilan said fiercely, you trash, you still have the nerve to laugh. Look at young Master Ji, how easily he made Master Long change his mind. Look at you, you have nothing but trouble. Ye Tiance asked, why do you think it was him who made Zhao Hailong change his mind? Zhang Huilan glared at Ye Tiance with disgust. If it wasn't young Master Ji, could it be you? Ye Tiance nodded, that's me. Xiao Nan laughed and laughed on the spot. You surnamed Yi, how can you die if you don't brag? Just now you said that it would be solved by just going out and making a phone call, and then you disappeared for a long time. Now that young Master Ji has solved the matter, you are jumping. Why are you so shameless when you come out to take credit from others? Assistant Sun also echoed, you insulted Mr. Long and caused trouble for the Xiao family. If it hadn't been for young Master Ji's help, you would have been killed by Mr. Long. Now let's just forget about being ungrateful. You still take credit from others. With such contempt like you, wolf. Ji Buduan waved his hand and said in an air of grandeur, forget it, my lord has a lot of knowledge and I don't have the same knowledge as him. Xiao Qingcheng said seriously to Ye Tiance, I don't expect you to learn from Master Ji's manliness, but at least you must say thank you to him. After all, he helped you. Want me to tell him thank you? Ye Tiance shook his head and sneered, this kind of villain is not worthy. If you want to say it, you can say it yourself. Xiao Qingcheng couldn't help it anymore. Ye Tiance, how come you don't know what is good and what is good? I really don't understand why you are like this. Ye Tiance said calmly, no matter what I become, haven't you always looked down on me? You are really hopeless. Xiao Qingcheng bit her lower lip, completely disappointed in Ye Tiance. Xiao Nan even suggested to Xiao Hongming, Grandpa, do you see how ungrateful and arrogant this man named Yi is? You should order his legs to be broken, divorce my sister, and drive him out of the Xiao family to save more money. Disaster for us. As soon as this statement came out, everyone in the Xiao family present expressed their support. This. Xiao Hongming sighed, in the past 3 years, everyone in the Xiao family, except him, had been dissatisfied with Ye Tiance, but the problems they picked out were all minor and insignificant, but today is different. Ye Tiance's behavior not only caused public outrage, but almost destroyed the Xiao family. Even after making a mistake, he still refuses to repent and makes excuses. Could it be that my persistence in the past 3 years really misjudged the wrong person? After hesitating for a moment, he asked Xiao Qingcheng, "Qingcheng, this is your own marriage. Grandpa respects your ideas." "Grandpa, I." Xiao Qingcheng bit her lip. She had begged her grandfather to respect her marriage choice countless times. Now that her grandfather suddenly gave her this power, she didn't know what to say. Zhang Huilan on the side quickly urged, "Silly girl, what are you doing in a daze? Hurry up and agree to divorce Ye Tiance." Xiao Nan also echoed, "Sister. Cut off the relationship with the person named Yi immediately. This is a rare opportunity." Finally, Xiao Qingcheng's eyes flashed with determination. "Grandpa, to tell you the truth, I filed for divorce from Ye Tiance this morning. After attending the Chamber of Commerce, I will go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get the divorce certificate. This is what I think." "Ugh." Xiao Hongming sighed, looked at Ye Tiance and said, "Tiance, you." "Grandpa, you don't have to say anything." Ye Tiance raised his hand to interrupt Xiao Hongming's words, and said neither humble nor arrogantly, "I, Ye Tiance, agreed to Xiao Qingcheng's proposal. I, this junior, have thanked you for your care over the past 3 years. Goodbye." Ye Tiance bowed deeply to Xiao Hongming and said goodbye to the Xiao family completely. Then he turned around and left without even looking at anyone else. Everyone in the Xiao family present cheered. "Huh, this bastard is finally gone, our Xiao family is finally going to rise. In the past 3 years, he has made the Xiao family miserable. When he gets the 100 billion order tomorrow night and makes friends with the big shots behind Mr. Long, I will envy him to death." For some reason, everyone's joy fell in Xiao Qingcheng's eyes at this time, but he couldn't get excited. On the contrary, there is a sense of hesitation of losing some important existence. Zhang Huilan cleared her throat and suggested, "Let me tell you, our Xiao family's difficulty this time is all due to young Master Ji. We should set up 2 tables to thank them properly, especially you, Qingcheng, because you have to spend more time with them. Have a few drinks." Everyone agreed. Ji Budwan pretended to be coquettish and said, "Master Long just invited me to dinner, and I'm not hungry yet. But since you are so gracious, I would rather obey my orders than I am respectful." As soon as he finished speaking, a cold voice suddenly sounded outside the door. "When did you have dinner with Mr. Long? Why didn't I know?" Chapter 10 The First Fiancé Han Ruoyun's Invitation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I saw a beautiful-looking woman wearing a red hip-hugging skirt and black stockings walking into the living room. He looks like he is no more than 30 years old, but he exudes the aura of a superior. Ji Budwan frowned and said, "Who are you? What evidence is there that I didn't eat with Mr. Long?" The woman said coldly, "This afternoon, Mr. Long and I have been in a meeting, and I have never seen him eating with anyone. Have you traveled through time and space?" Swish. Everyone's eyes fell on Ji Budwan. "You keep saying you're having dinner with Zhao Hailong, are you lying?" Ji Budwan bit the bullet and retorted, "Don't listen to her, everyone. She's just a pretty little girl. She can't even find the gate of Tianlong Group. She brags about having an afternoon meeting with Mr. Long. Only a ghost can believe it." The voice just fell. Xiao Qingcheng suddenly stepped forward and said respectfully to the woman, "Mr. Qian, why are you here? You are far away from us." Ji Budwan was stunned. "Qingcheng, who is Mr. Qian?" Xiao Qingcheng introduced to everyone, "This is Qian Qinian, Vice President of Tianlong Group, Mr. Qian, one of the leaders of this Tianlong Chamber of Commerce." Ji Budwan's eyes widened. "Qingcheng, are you sure you are right? Why haven't I heard of this person?" Xiao Qingcheng shook her head and said, "I won't admit my mistake. Qian always joined the job last month, and I met her once." "Mr. Ji, you just went to Tianlong Group to find Mr. Long to help us restore our participation quota. Didn't you see Mr. Qian?" This. Ji Budwan hesitated. Qian Qinian said coldly, "I have never met this young Master Ji. Besides, Master Long has decided to restore the Xiao family's participation in the meeting. Is this someone like him worthy of joining in?" What a joke, that everyone present was surprised. This matter has nothing to do with young Master Ji. Then why did he say he helped? He's just trying to show off in front of us. TSK, I didn't expect him to be this kind of person. Damn it, he almost pretended to do it. Xiao Qingcheng frowned and asked, young Master Ji, what on earth is going on? Ji Buduan blushed and explained awkwardly, ahem, there must be a misunderstanding here. Well, I suddenly remembered that I have something urgent to do, so I'll leave first. After saying that, he ran away and left this place of right and wrong. At this time, Qian Qian took out an invitation letter and said, I made a special trip this time to send the Xiao family an invitation letter for the bidding Chamber of Commerce tomorrow night. Xiao Hongming quickly stood up from the main seat, walked to Qian Qian and said politely, for this small matter, I still need Mr. Qian to come in person. Thank you for your hard work. As he was about to receive the invitation, he found that Qian Qian had not handed the invitation to him. This is, Xiao Hongming didn't know what was going on. The rest of the people present also looked at each other. Qian Qian smiled lightly and said, Master Xiao, this invitation letter can be given to the Xiao family, but our Lord Long said that there is a prerequisite, that is, the person who insulted him must apologize to him and say it in front of me. That's it. Of course it's okay to apologize, but... Xiao Hongming was a little embarrassed, but just now, Ye Tiance has left our Xiao family. Xiao Qingcheng also said, Mr. Qian, if it really can't be done, I can apologize to Mr. Long on his behalf. Do you think that's okay? Ye Tiance, Qian Qian shook his head and said, it's not him, and I don't know him either. Mr. Long said that one of the people who insulted him at that time claimed to be Mr. Xiao, your brother, and the other claimed to be your mother. Wow! As soon as this statement came out, everyone in the audience was shocked. Countless eyes fell on Zhang Huilan and Xiao Nan. The two of them were trembling all over and felt like they were on pins and needles. Damn it, discovered. Xiao Hongming said with a gloomy face, give me an explanation. Xiao Nan bravely argued, Grandpa, this must be a frame-up. How can we have the courage to insult Lord Long? Xiao Hongming slapped Xiao Nan in the face. Fart. What kind of status does Mr. Long have, that he would wrongly accuse you? Today you must honestly explain everything that happened. If you have anything to hide, don't blame me for handling it according to the law. Xiao Nan turned pale with fright. Grandpa, please don't, I said, it's not okay if I tell you everything. Immediately, Xiao Nan told the story of humiliating Ye Tiance in the Ye family cemetery, insulting Zhao Hailong, and coming back to frame Ye Tiance. After saying that, Zhang Huilan and Xiao Nan, mother and son, immediately knelt on the ground and confessed their mistakes in various ways, and even apologized to Mr. Long. He even didn't hesitate to slap himself in the face with a bang. At this time, Xiao Qingcheng was so angry that she was shaking all over. No wonder Ye Tiance hit his younger brother. It turned out that her brother and mother were unreasonably demanding money, and even kicked her grandfather's tombstone on the anniversary of his family's death. If you bully people like this, anyone else would hit them. In addition, my mother confused right and wrong and framed the blame, which led me to believe their words and wrongly blamed Ye Tiance again and again. Regret churned in my heart. Xiao Hongming was so angry that he yelled, both of you have had your consciences eaten by dogs. You misled me and wronged Tiance. I'm sorry for his grandfather, and I'm sorry for the Yi family. As he spoke, Xiao Hongming suddenly felt a stabbing pain in his chest. Puff. A mouthful of blood spurted out. He fainted directly. Grandfather. Homeowner. In an instant, everyone gathered around in panic, and the entire Xiao family was in chaos. Evening, Tianlong Hotel, the most luxurious hotel in Jiangnan City. At this time, there was a very beautiful woman wearing a snow-white dress sitting there by the window on the first floor, as if waiting for something. The guests at the surrounding tables were discussing. Isn't that Han Ruoyun, the daughter of the richest man? Her incurable disease has actually been cured. I heard that the Han family was cured by someone today, and they came to wait for someone just after recovering from a serious illness. Who is so lucky? Look, someone is coming. At this time, A handsome young man in simple clothes sat down opposite Han Ruoyun. Ye Tiance got straight to the point and asked, "What's the matter with calling me here? Do you have to meet in person to talk about it?" That if it weren't for the woman's tough attitude on the phone and the fact that she was one of the fiancés designated by the master, he really didn't want to come over. Han Ruoyun took out 2 golden bank cards from her Hermes bag and placed them on the table. "There are 1,000 million in each of these 2 cards, keep them." Ye Tiance drank tea and asked, "What do you mean?" Han Ruoyun raised his chin with a cold and arrogant expression. 1,000 million of it is a reward to thank you for saving me. The remaining 1,000 million is to ask you to stop playing hard to get with me in the future and stop pestering me. Ye Tiance almost spit out a mouthful of tea. "Ms. Han, am I right? I've only met you once before, so why am I trying to get at you?" "Wrong." "Huh." Han Ruoyun seemed to see through everything. "From the time you proposed to break off the engagement to the time you refused the 300 million offered by my mother, wasn't it just a deliberate attempt to create a personality to attract my parents' attention? It just so happened that Mr. Long's call made my dad misunderstand you and actually asked me to talk to you again. He is really an old fool. I admit that you want to get me very cleverly, but you can't hide it from me. For the sake of our engagement, take the money and leave to give yourself some dignity. I, the daughter of the richest man in Jiangnan, will never want second-hand goods abandoned by others." Ye Tiance almost laughed out of anger. "I don't understand, why are you so ordinary yet so confident, that what happened to the richest man's daughter? In his eyes, the richest man in Jiangnan city is no different from a beggar. How did you talk?" Han Ruoyun was so angry. She had been shrouded in countless auras since she was a child and had many suitors. No one had ever said she was ordinary. Ye Tiance said calmly, "I'm just telling the truth. If Miss Han doesn't like to hear it, just plug her ears." "You!" Han Ruoyun was about to have a seizure. A voice suddenly scolded Ye Tiance, "How dare you humiliate Yunyun? Do you think you have a long life?